Hello, and welcome to Group 31's debate video for MSCI442. The topic of debate for this video is the impact of information technology on jobs in the future. With all the advancements in IT, you could see how jobs can be affected for the better or worse, with some jobs becoming replaced by these advancements and other jobs being created. The side our group is arguing is that information technology will mean that more people will have bad jobs in the future. The workplace has changed dramatically since the Industrial Revolution. Although there has been a lot of change over the years, we have never seen the dramatic advancements in technology that impacts the workplace as we are today with such a large population. These technological advancements in the workplace claim to bring jobs that are higher paying, higher quality, and more numerous by reducing the amount of redundant jobs and replacing them with new technology-focused jobs. Although it might seem like advancements in the workplace will lead us to a brighter future, there are concerns that advancements in the workplace will result in fewer jobs, lower pay on average, poor work environments, and income inequality. The most notable impact of information technology on the workforce is the outsourcing of low-skill jobs to automation. A study by the Harvard Business Review found that around half of paid activities in the global economy have the potential to be automated. Though some might argue that the process of automation frees up labor from the manufacturing sectors and lets people refocus their efforts on more skill-demanding positions, the reality is that not everyone is capable of making that transition. The advancement of information technology and one of its applications, automation, has caused a major shift in the manufacturing and transportation industry. An Oxford economics report estimates that each new installation of a robot will, on average, reduce 1.6 manufacturing workers. By 2030, they predict that 20 million manufacturing jobs will be displaced worldwide due to robotization and automation. It is difficult to imagine all these people finding new jobs which offer the same pay and benefits as their previous job. In regards to the future of job security, one of the most prominent tech leaders, Elon Musk, believes that technology will take away so many jobs from people that we will need a basic universal income provided by the government to everyone. Elon has said that there is a pretty good chance we end up with a universal basic income or something like that due to automation. This is something that should be taken seriously because it could mean that large numbers of the population would no longer have jobs in the future. In addition to manufacturing, transportation, that is taxis and goods transportation, is expected to have a large loss of jobs since most of the work can be completed autonomously. Transport trucks carry approximately 70% of the goods transported around the US, and there are some companies starting to use self-driving trucks, which can make the trips in a shorter period of time because they don't need sleep, and they can do it without having to pay a driver. The possibility for the replacement of many of these drivers paints a grim future for job loss around the globe. It's not only low-skilled jobs and manual labor that are being replaced by automation. According to The Economist, mid-skilled jobs such as clerical jobs and repetitive office tasks are disappearing even faster than low-skilled jobs in rich countries. In the past, technology was only able to replace human labor, pushing more people towards complex jobs. However, with the advent of artificial intelligence, machines will be both smarter and stronger than humans. Why use human labor if machines will be superior in every way? Examples of AI's computational superiority over humans are IBM's Deep Blue defeating Garry Kasparov at chess, and IBM Watson winning the first-place prize on Jeopardy against two champions, Brad Rutter and Ken Jennings. More recently, Deep Blue's AI program, AlphaZero, was able to defeat world champion programs in chess and shogi without any human training. Lockheed Martin utilized augmented reality during the development and construction of their new spacecraft, reducing what was originally done by several highly educated technicians over multiple shifts into a task that can be completed by a single person in hours. With so much possibility for job loss across the world, will there be enough job creation to satisfy all of the new workers and also those who have lost their jobs? Likely not. The impact of information technology will create a large number of unemployed workers willing to do any job possible. The remaining lower-skilled jobs under competition could have wage reductions since there would be such an abundance of workers willing to do the work. As a result, the quality of jobs will decrease because the people affected could end up in a field that they don't enjoy making less than they did before just to make ends meet. The process of offshoring, which has been enabled by the advancements in IT, results in poorer work for both overseas workers and for workers in domestic countries. Information technology is responsible for greatly enhancing the interaction and integration of people, companies, and governments across the world, also known as globalization. Globalization has allowed companies and businesses in developed countries to move their manufacturing and production facilities to less developed countries with lower wage economies. This diminishes the number of jobs in the developed country through mass layoffs. According to a case study by the Harvard Business School, 7 million Americans were laid off between 2004 and 2009 due to the shift to overseas production. Experts say that many of those laid off will see a 17 to 30% reduction in pay if they rejoin the workforce, or are often forced into the gig economy as contractors. As jobs are being relocated to developing countries, the lower wages may be enticing for the companies. However, the quality of work and working conditions for the overseas workers themselves are poor. Some of the common work environments experienced include working in hazardous environments, working long hours, and the use of child labor. As seen in the following table, the fatality and injury rates are significantly higher in developing countries, such as in Southeast Asia, where worker exploitation is much more common. There are approximately 120 million children out of 200 million child workers working in hazardous environments today. Unfortunately, it's not realistic to assume that displaced workers will fill the new jobs created by IT. San Francisco, for example, is known as a hub for IT and high-tech industries and is home to some of the highest paid workers in the world. In an article by the BBC, the average wage growth in San Francisco between 2008 and 2016 was 26%. Yet nearly two-thirds of families living in San Francisco are classified as low income. Not everyone has the aptitude to benefit from the advantages that IT delivers. Those who don't benefit from the expansion of IT are left with financially unsustainable jobs and rising income inequality. According to The Atlantic, since 2000, automation has destroyed 90% of manufacturing jobs in the U.S. What happens to all the manufacturing workers whose jobs have been eliminated? Can they simply move to San Francisco and become engineers and programmers? The statistics indicate that this is not possible. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, approximately half of all manufacturing and transportation workers laid off since 2008 remain unemployed 3 years later. Worse, only 3% enrolled in university or college to retrain for a new type of job. There are many possible reasons for this, but ultimately, suggesting that millions of middle-aged, high school-educated, established blue-collar workers return to school to become tech workers is unrealistic. As the stats show, almost none do, even when faced with unemployment. Whether workers do not want to change careers, do not want to go back to school, cannot afford to go back to school, or are not capable of mastering the skills required to succeed in high-tech work, the outcome is the same. Low-skilled workers are steadily being eliminated from the workforce entirely and will not have jobs at all in the IT world of the future. In conclusion, it is clear that advancements in IT will result in more people having worse jobs in the future. Although we are only in the very early stages of this current industrial revolution, the statistics are already clear and will only get worse. Automation will eliminate millions of jobs, not only in low-skilled and labor-intensive industries, but even more alarmingly in middle-skilled and middle-income positions that make up the base of today's workforce. Furthermore, the increasing ability of companies to move their work offshores to less developed countries will drive down the quality of work for both the often exploited overseas workers and the laid-off employees in Western countries who will be looking for new work. Finally, the expectation that information technology will provide bountiful new opportunities in high-tech fields is simply untrue. Although new opportunities will become available for the extremely intelligent, extremely educated, and extremely rich, these new opportunities are not being accessed by the newly laid-off workers that are being displaced, resulting in unemployment and poor conditions for most workers. It is possible that advancements in IT will create wonderful new possibilities of all kinds for society. Some people stand to reap enormous rewards and enjoy fantastic opportunities that we could not have imagined a few generations ago. For most people, however, the work of tomorrow will be worse than the work of today.